A pleasant good evening to each and everyone in Georgetown, Guyana, the diaspora, and elsewhere. Friends all, enemy alike. I want you all to listen to me very carefully. One will ask, why is he always saying this? And sometimes he repeats himself. I want you to show me the Bible and the priest who does not repeat what the Bible says to his congregation. And he have a reason. Either you're slow, you're stupid, you're dumb, or you're just ignorant and you don't care. But you have to. It's like a good teacher in a classroom. She have to try, she have 50 students and 20 are bright. She got to try to bring the 30 up the level. If not, she's not doing her job. We are all teachers to each other. We must learn from each other. Whether it's good, bad, indifference, ugly, or whatever you may call it. But at the same time, we all are human beings. We make mistakes. And the reason for making mistakes for others to see and for we to make correction. Because if God had made mistake by drowning the world, and he said the next time, because of that mistake, he can burn it this time. Think of that God. And none of us know him. None of us see him. None of us don't know who is he. Nor Lucifer the devil. We may die today, tomorrow, and 3 million years this world will still in existence and no one will see either one of them. We heard that when somebody get ghosts on them, the evil spirit, some call themselves Lucifer, and some call themselves all kind of things. But we had never heard a man or a woman where people try to take a demon out of them, say, here I am with God. Never. Do you know why? Because God handed down into this world his miracle and his ability to other people who do what is right. Not those who tell you 10%. And all that 10%, as I said before and I said again, I don't believe in it. There's no way Jesus could have told a man or a woman or a crowd who picture, which is an engraving on a coin with a man named Caesar. And then Jesus said, the Son of God said, give unto Caesar what is Caesar, and give unto God what is God. So we give Caesar 30 and 35%, and we give God 10. You mean Caesar is better than God? Ladies and gentlemen, all that bullshit, I don't respect it, I don't understand it, and I will not put my basic knowledge on it. It should be the other way around, that God gets 30% and Caesar gets 10%. But who is a priest? A priest is a referee between the rebel who was going against the empire, the Roman Empire, and all the empires in the past. And Rome at one time had fell so low they had no money to pay the military. They started to give them land and slaves, young boys and young girls, so they could have done them anything they want in a manner of pay. And then they come up with that bloody nonsense about pay your tax. Give Caesar 30% or 35%, or if you got 7 acres of rights, 2 acres belong to Caesar, and half or quarter of another one belong to God. I don't buy that. I think God should get the most. What do you think? But again, we are following tradition, teaching. But regardless of the illegal tradition and teaching, all tell us to unite and love your brother as you love yourself and forgive your enemy. But I want to ask any government in power, somebody break the law with their neighbor, cutting them up, robbing them, they go to court. You are the law. You didn't forgive them, but they didn't hurt you. So we are dealing in a world full of hypocrites. A world where people think that they're smarter than each other. All politicians around the world make laws to protect themselves, friends, and their family. Guyana have an institution, not a constitution. Why Barrett Jack didn't change it? Why Dr. Jagan didn't change it when he was asked? Dr. Chetty, Now you're president. Why don't you change the Constitution that nobody is above the law? Not the president, not the vice president, not the prime minister, or anyone. And Chedi Jagan replied, I am not into politics to take back seat. Which, in clear-cut business, they all wanted to be above the nation and they could commit any crime and you can't do them nothing. When the military and the police force, who is on alert 24/7, the military got to protect the country from foreign invaders. The police have to hold the peace to the national. And if it get out of hand, then the military will come in. Why am I saying this? Those ministers in parliament or in government or your president are a representative of you because you choose them to administrate a country. You choose them to be the head and to run the country, but you did not choose them to be your God and goddess. If not, close the Holy Quran, the Ramayana and the Bible, and let's worship Ali, Bharat, and all the others. What do you think? It's my opinion. Why am I telling you this? We have a country, one of the richest country in the world as of today. And I heard these words, Abi Isle, Abi Gold, Abi Lumber, Abi Backside, mostly the backside, the two major races sit on. Because Abi is not an Amerindian language. How you, the black race, could claim Africa, and the white man do you so much wrong to your ancestor, and he thief your gold even though you're in Jamaica to Guyana, Caribbean, Brazil, but he thief your gold. But your ancestor who brought out of Africa, who was sold to him, by the way, because of your other ancestor relative, find that your ancestor was either troublemaker, undesirable, and an outcast to society. So they sold them instead of killing them. You, the great-grandchildren and children of that ancestor, you have inherited so much more than your ancestor back in Africa. I can prove it to you. And you all are fortunate. You come into a country in the West Indies, and other parts you become president and prime minister. You cost the white man. So he stole something and he give it to you. You should go to jail, man. All of you need to be arrested and jailed and throw away the key, because the Bible, it stated it clearly. Thou shalt not covet thy brother's property. And according to the law books, ladies and gentlemen, in Guyana, he who received, let me repeat, he who received stolen property is worse than the man who stole it. So therefore, you two major races, Indian and black in Guyana, who are claiming your country but claiming emancipation, but you do not have any occupation, claiming day of arrival, but you have no day of departure. You are ruling a country don't belong to you. You are breaking the law every second, but you run to the Ramayana and you call Bhagwan, you're a hypocrite. Or you run, oh Allahu Akbar, you're not a hypocrite. Or you start, oh Jesus. You think these people are listening to you, man? Hypocrites? Do you think they're listening to you? So you African got to stop using this word, white man take your gold, white man slave you. When I, George Emmanuel Correa, grew up in Guyana, and I see what you all do to the Amerindian, the military and the police. I have a relative and friends who's a part of the military and police in the black race. And when you hear what they do these Amerindian, you cry. If you have feelings, not hard feelings, friends, stop condemning the white man, because you inherit the wrong things he done. You inherit it. Some of you are making millions and billions in soccer, boxing, cricket, and other things. You have to understand what you're saying, my friends. I want you to know, and I want you to stop it. And this thing that called Black Life Matters, take that back to Africa where all black people can be together. You cannot say it in China, India, or the European continent. Let me tell you why. The last part of Africa to be independent and self-rule is South Africa, ruled by your own descendant. And your people are fleeing those countries. They're going to Libya. They're being raped and killed, young, beautiful women and educated men, and turned slave up today. They're going to Egypt and the same thing are happening to them. All these are Muslim countries, friends. They are even going to Saudi Arabia. According to Facebook in the past, you've seen it. No African leader speak against it. Where's the African Union? But to condemning the white man. And yet, over 2,000 African children, women and men die in the Pacific crossing to go to the shore of the white man. And he still go out and rescue you and bring you, give you medical, give you food, and trying to process you to find a place for you, but you're still cussing him. Y'all are going to create a problem if you don't stop it. The woman and the man who start Black Lives Matters in America, they are living happy. They have plenty extra room. Don't they help any one of you? Now I mix with all the blood. Your blood, the Indian blood. I'm going to give the Indian a share now too. Did anyone help you? I know Oprah went to South Africa or somewhere and built school or help, and that was a good gesture. I don't know by any others. But when I checked and see, you might have 10 white people to 1 black who are adopting black children, and you're all just breeding the women and calling them child mother. Stop it, for God's sake. Y'all are making it bad for your people. Since that Black Lives Matters, y'all are still coming to Canada, England, Australia, France, Italy, Greece, and y'all want them to accept you. If you have 10 lions in your yard and it eating your family, will you bring another 90? You chase the white man out because you says he slaved you. He exploits you. They came out, now you have your country. Why your people got to run out to come to his country and he still accept you and you're cussing him? Why when an earthquake and a flood happen, is the white man first have to send rescue? Why? You know why I'm telling you all this? Because you're destroying the innocent, decent, honorable black people. People who's not responsible for the violence out of your mouth and the venom you're putting upon other people. So let me tell you here today, you have good black people, you have bad black people. You have good white people, you have bad white people. You have good Indian people, you have bad Indian people. And you have good and bad in the Chinese race and in every other race. But we can work together for a common goal, humanity. Now, let me deal with my Indian partner, the most vindictive, corrupt, covetous. I don't know what name to give this animal. Your appetite is so wide when you could obey your own mother and father who do them. Brother and sister, I want to screw you, sister love, and tell your husband he must go and screw your own mother. You have no use on God's earth. You're worse than animals that walk on 4 legs. Trust me. That is why when the Indian man was cussing his wife in Stouffville, I was a little boy, and he was insulting she and called she dogs and things, and all the dog was sitting on the step watching it. And from the time she called him a jackass, a donkey wasn't too far, look up and he laughed because he got one of them in 2 legs and he had 4. Wake up for God's sake, man. Y'all are illiterate. You Indian, you're not racial. I could put my head on a guillotine. Indian people are not racist. I rather deal with the racists because they were misled. Because they are tribal people. And because their poor mentality of education, they're quick to be taking pay to create havoc, while those who pay them hiding behind because they use and abuse their privilege by using the less fortunate. But you, the Indian, Nobody could use you. You think you're smarter than every other race in the face of this earth. You think you know it all. You think your God is better. Then you turn back in Trinidad, Guyana, St. Lucia, and out of India for hundreds of years as cheap labor. And you still holding on to India. Well, I want to ask you, the Trinidadian Indians, St. Lucia, Suriname, and Guyana, what part of India did your ancestor came from? Because the last I could remember, India was an apple, one. Now it's divided in two, which divided in 3 and 4, because Pakistan is divided from India. Gandhi begged Nehru and Jinnah not to do it. He begged Nehru to give Jinnah all the ministerial position in parliament, but not to divide Mother India. But because of religion, you are the same people over religion. One believe in Bhagwan and Krishna, one believe in Allah and Prophet Muhammad. And now you divide over an ideology, a teaching. Whether you say Bhagwan and he say Allah, all of you eat dal and roti, man. Pulari and chutney. All of you. You all are a pack of parasites and hypocrites. Change, for God's sake. This is the modern generation. This is the world of civilization. If the European did not enter India, a 90-year-old man could have married a 10 and 8-year young woman. And if he died a month after, they're going to burn him. She got to sit down live and be burned. Check your history. Thank God the European, as the white man entered there. Thank God. Same for Africa. Thank God that he entered there. Was it his fault? Or could it be the same God we are worshiping make this man get there to put an end to this mental cruelty to human beings on both sides? And even China. When he entered, there was a change. And today, those people are dead and gone. And we are picking it up, looking back, instead of we look forward and start to provide for our children and our children's children, and stretch our hands to the less fortunate to pull them in our level. But we want to be richer than one another. We wanted to boast and brag. I have a big house, a big car, I have a plane. I heard the insult from you Indians, how you insult your own. You call them parasites, uneducated. You call them dummies, fools. You name it, you call them. But there is a God. Nothing shall go unpaid between you, the Indian and the black race, in Guyana. I could talk about the black people is ahead of you with love, feelings, and the ability, excuse me, to stretch their hands to forgive. But you Indians, it is a hard call, man. It's a hard call. So I want Barrett Jackdeal, Imran Ali, president, to tell me what part of India because Barrett find an auntie, as I can recall. So if Mr. Ali have to go to India, he got to go to Pakistan or Bangladesh, or he have to go to Sri Lanka. My friends, when will y'all wake up and stop your nonsense? Because Bangladesh declared independence from Pakistan in 1976. Okay? According to the Indians, not me. I am honored that the European brought my ancestors from both sides of the mainland, Africa and India, and wherever else they come from. King Alexander take a lot out from India into Greece, passed through Italy, and Spain also got a lot. My friends, whatever happens in the past had to be. And I want you all to understand this carefully. Did not we have lions? And did not we have elephants, camel, and other things in other parts of the world, in the zoo or in parks? It came from two places, I think, India and Africa. And did not they have Indian in Africa, black people in India? Well, now we are all getting into China boat race because of economics. Come on, man. When will we stop talking this nonsense and try to heal the wound of humanity and go forward. Tell me, there was a Jamaican man in the United States government, Mr. Powell, I think his name was, who lied that Saddam had mass destruction in the desert. According to information, it's alleged lie, all because of his position. And I think he was to run for president because he born here. And he was something big in the military. But imagine you sell your soul for a promise to be president. King die, emperor die, preacher die, president die too. Come on. I am asking you, Mr. Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, change the constitution. If you're an honest Muslim, that no man is above the law of the land. If a judge breaks the law by locking up an innocent man or a woman because of her color of her skin or his skin, or party policy because they are either PPP, APNU, or AFC after fooling the coolie or fooling the country, she or he must be tried, and if convicted, execute. Because no man must use authority to deny another man the rights. You didn't give them life, you should take it. You don't give them freedom, you should not deny them. And when you talk about a man thief, you lock him up. And I respect that. What are you going to do with all the parliamentarians? Present and past. Because some or the other they are thieving. And I will say, yes, they're thief. They might want to sue me. But let me explain to you. If a nation votes for you and you promise to build something great in the time when they put you and you don't do it, you use and abuse them, that is a theft. Because you stole their dream and you did not fulfill it. So you don't have to thief money and property. You thief the support that they give to you with the things you promise them. My friends, I want you to know, God made this world from east, west, north, and south, and no place is better than another. None. If one place is better than another, then he got to make another world. Okay? No part of this world that was created by Allah, Bhagwan or God as you call him, is not better than the other. But he put things in different areas due to the compass of the world, the corners, the four corners. Because there are certain fishes cannot live in cold water. And there are certain animals cannot live in too much heat. And I can prove it to you. My dear friends, we have to forget what the historian written. And we have to unite and go forward. We have to treat our wives, our daughters, our sisters fairly. God created this world. And the same woman that was created by Lucifer, not God, populated. And things like in the Bible or the Quran, the Lord says, man shall sweat. From thy sweat you shall live. I don't believe that. God didn't make slave. It's man make slave and put that piece of garbage. Let me ask you a question. A king, an emperor, have 12 children. They got everything. You think they want their children to be a gladiator, to be a nurse, or a doctor, or to be in the field? No way. They may put them on a horseback to manage you being the slave. So if God is our great Father, and he put us and said, from thy sweat thou shalt live. It is slavery, ladies and gentlemen, because he says he provides for the birds in the air. Then the bird is better than us. You hypocrites. Wake up. Wake up. He provides for the fish too. And he provides for us because we catch the fish that was eating the other small thing God put for him to eat to get bigger. We eat them. He provides for the animals. And we are eating them too, some of them eating us. Vice versa. So you uneducated people in Guyana, wake up. No ministers in government is about you. They lie. They're corrupt. They may have good ones amongst them. But just because of the position, and their wealth, and all was given to them, they have sold their soul for the silver. Okay? But let it be known, I am looking every day, there's an accident. 2, 3 young children are dying in accident. Fire burning. Let's sit down and analyze the family where these disasters are coming from. I'm not talking that people rob them and kill them. Like the policeman who shot the young black kid, snatched his woman chain, I heard by the market is a left, and he shoot like if he was Eddie Murphy, Clint Eastwood, or Django, and kill the kid. How do you know he killed the right kid? Over a gold chain, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine, the gold chain may not even value $1,000 US. If it is shout and say grab him, people would have grabbed the kid. Somebody may have him on cell phone. Then the place that exchanged money, the other day, I got to use a lead steady, because with these false news, you never know. The people robbed the cameo, 2 young black men on motorcycle. I know the cameo, it only got men with machine gun. They got cameras too. Did not the cameras have these young men on it? Why kill them? Did you have any cameras in Parliament? In the courthouse? Do you have any in all the ministries? You got it outside, watching you to protect them if they feel you're coming to get them. But do you have any watching the accountant, the finance ministers? Do you have any watching the deal when they sign contract on paper and they show you what's under the table or what might be put in the US bank, Canadian bank, the British Swiss or whatever? No, my friend. Let me tell you something. I'm not a fool sit here. I'm a beggar. I was called everything. A beggar, a thief, a liar. Even my 2 half-brothers called me a thief. Ralston Chung and Michael Chung. But because of my brother from same mother, I beg God to let them live long enough so we can have a face-to-face talk. Because both of them are corrupt. And who was their wife? Indian woman. Huh? My mother used to say, I got a Chinese wife, she never divide our family. She tried to unite. Huh? Ask Indra Sigomin, who married Ralston Chung, my brother's wife. From my hiker there from the police station in the street, Sigomin daughter. Go and ask them. Ask you what she said my brother must do to your own mother and a runner. Ladies and gentlemen, I would have been here today addressing you. A black woman named Gloria saved her. She was 60, 70 feet in front of me. I had a shovel in my hand, concrete in the yard, a spade. I would have lashed her coolie head off. My mother brought her into the family. I begged my mother not to go. She's not the type for this family. According to information, a lot of them are drunkards and thieves. I would condemn the whole family. It's alleged. But learn from she and 2 of she cousins, it make I want to believe. As they says, a good tree bear good fruit. And that is where I judge it. But there is a God I wish to cripple. And my brother too. I'm telling you here today, my brother Ralston Chung is a corrupt individual. He robbed his sister with the help of Michael Chung in America Food. And Michael Chung, my last brother from mother but different father, give me 8 cows out of 70 something. I give it away in front of him. I give it away. And he tell me take it out of the yard. I give it away. And I had made 3,700 concrete bricks to build a house for the family. He said, take it out the yard. I call a man again and I give it away. But he is my little brother, and that's not all. I was in Texas. I flew back from Texas to Curacao to join an oil tanker ship. And I told the captain right away, this ship will blow up or go down, and tell him I'm going back to Guyana. My 2 brothers must go. And he said, George, we know you. You sure? If it go down, we all dead. If it blow up, all be dead. I said, listen, change the crew. For this crew will save if you change it. He booked our ticket to send us back to Guyana. 3 young black kids was coming aboard to take our position. And I said to them, young man, in front of the ship chandler, if you want to live, go home. And I tell them why. I don't know if they will. When we went back to Guyana, my stepfather, William Augustus Chung, said, but when you are going back, and tell your experience. My brother Royston said, George said, we must come out the ship and blow up and go down. Chung, my stepfather, looked at me, he said, anywhere you go, your car's in trouble. Use Noah. From today, your name is Noah. Then he rebuked me with these words. Noah, when the ship can go down, I look at him and something in me rattling says, don't insult him. He's ignorant. He's a fool. Look at him and talk politely and repeat after me, George. I think I was going mad for that minute. Something talking to me. And I look at him and I smile. I look at the sky and I said, within 40 days. And you will get it on the Guyana newspaper front page. Listen what he says. He lying in the graveyard and laughing there. He said, you mean to tell me if the ship blow up in India, China, Russia, Africa, it can be Guyana paper? I said, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, 16 days passed. And my stepfather, Chuck, he says, Noah, that's my call name, huh? Rebuking me with an appropriate name, if he think was an insult. But I forgive him. He said, Noah, I hope you know it's 16 days today. You only got 24 days left. I lift my head up and I look at the sky and I smile. I said it will not be long. Tomorrow you will tell me different. Joshie McLean, a black young man, was selling papers. He used to give Chong a paper every day from the day of question, when it just began of my prediction. On the 17th day, when he received the paper, my big boy was about 4 years of age or 3. When he got the paper, it was in the front page. The ship went down in the Atlantic Ocean. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. He take a reading pen and he circle it and he give my son to him and he get up and he walk inside the house and he peeping me through the window. When I look at it, I walk up the step and said, Daddy, what happened? You know what he said? I swear. He said, from today your name is Jesus. I laughed. I said, because the world is in crisis because of your mouth. Okay? But thank God. Then he rebuked another word immediately. How the rest of them saved according to the news, all of you would have saved. I said, you stupid fool. This is how they had to be saved. And the rest who went home. From that day, my call name was Jesus. It wasn't long after. My brother them traveled again and they came back. I was building the house, putting it nice. My wife was there with me, 3 children. Chong was there, he had his own room, everything going good. So I had some wood unfinished. My 2 brothers came back from a ship trip and they said to me, what are you doing with this wood here? And I look at them and I laugh. I said, what you mean? The house is not complete. Oh, but this wood look like you're keeping it for something. And I rebuked it and I said, you're right. This is to bury your father. Following day he was a dead man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm like that. So woe be unto those who hurt me. Your children shall eat the filth that cometh from them. And you, magistrate, judge, and politician, and corrupt businessmen, you shall bury your children, and you shall run mad. Look at me. Find out who know me. I don't hesitate. My neighbor was a black couple, Anthony Thomas, Ada Thomas. That was like a mother and father to me. I used to open up the paling and be at the day every day from school to night. I only go home and sleep. Get up and eat. Some I don't even eat home because I eat there. If you had insulted that black couple, we would have had problem. Ladies and gentlemen, if I tell you some of my experience, you will scare to come next to me. But I know there's something about me. The woman on the East Coast in question that I pardoned from drawing 75 US pretending to be that she walked with Papa Snow. If the Indian woman in Canada and she had something to do with it, they all will run mad and walk naked and play with the body parts so the nation would see. And they're going to bury the children. Everyone who hurt us, from judge to magistrate, from police to prosecutor, from the ministers in government to corrupt businessmen, may God have mercy upon your soul. He is my fighter, not the GDF and the corrupt police and the corrupt magistrate and courthouse. Because y'all don't have a courthouse. Coolie will bribe anybody. They will even bribe the devil to get rid of their family to get what they want. So y'all are nothing. But remember these words, black people. When an Indian pay you to kill John and Tom, don't tell him no. Tell him yes. But go to any embassy, report it quick, and ask for political asylum. Because he already killed 90 people. You know something? I got Peter to kill Tyrone, you know. And then he called John. Hey, John, you know who can kill Tyrone? It was Peter. Now John's called 20 other coolie and tell them, where are you going, friend? Where are you going? Your name is already in their mouth. Now one of them wants you to kill a minister child. Go and tell them no when they come for you. Hey, if you don't do it, I'm going to tell them you kill Peter, you know, you kill Tyrone. I hope you understand this. I'm just using this as a reference, okay? And I don't want the political ministers to believe I'm throwing that in their face because a minister is also a preacher. Because I am a minister too. Okay? So for you people who don't speak English, according to the Indian mayor, Mr. Narayan, if I remember right, and I would use a ledge again, or it's a pledge, when he said, he's the mayor, he said the president don't talk to me. Is it because I'm a Hindu and he's a Muslim? And immediately the whole police force actually went to take him out of the mayor's office. English language, man. First, to begin with, you all are not Indians. You all are the descendant of Indians from India. You're a human being born in Guyana. Accept that. Forget the arrival, or you should have remembered when you arrived from your mother womb and don't hurt her. Okay? And you, the black man, stop talking about emancipation and only black lives matters. Our black brothers and sisters in Africa are suffering and the Caribbean because of those words in the white country. God, they're afraid now to take your family. Do you know how many black people sponsor the family? For the European countries, since that bullshit was going on and before, since that, they stretch it long. When it would be 3 years for your visa, it's 7 now and 10. Eventually they're going to say, you know something, enough is enough. We have enough trouble. Let's try to reconciliate with this before we bring the rest. Now I heard in Guyana, some are saying we need reparation. And Mr. Ali, if I remember right, in the UN you talk about the Pan-African slave trade and you say they should get reparation. Well, if they got to get reparation in Guyana, they have to go to the European who bring them. Because the Amerindians don't want reparation. They want salvation and they want their country. It belongs to them, Ali. If you only give the black race reparation for a crime that you didn't commit, then the Amerindian must get their country. Where's the lawyers then? Soup drinkers. Where are the prosecutors? Well, let it be known to you. My lawyer, my judge is my God Almighty and my truth. All of you should play with your filth before you get who do wrong to people. So, Mr. Ali, as president of the cooperated so-called country called Guyana, open the door of the jail and set free the prisoners, because there are more criminals around you and walk with you than what is in the jail. And make room for the political criminals, the past and present. You might be a good man, you're doing a lot, but you stretch out. Build good hospital, school, and housing for your people. And make sure that the hospital in Guyana, Any minister sick, there is where they must go. Don't seek outside help. You mean to tell me you make hospital for the people, but you don't want to go to it? Or your wife or your children? They got to go abroad? Bonner was a clever man. He played dead and go in the hospital and say he died. And next thing you know, they bury a man from the Palms, and he was living in Magabi country. It's alleged again. And people look alike. My friends, Indian and black unite. All military, police, and all civil servants, you need money, a better salary. You need vacation with your family, because you are the one that's upholding the nonsense. You are keeping the ministers, them in government, when they are your servants also, and you are doing more than them. You're a 24-hour dog, watchdog. Wake up, for God's sake, and unite, and stop this fighting between of you. And I want a national front government where Indian cannot dominate and degrade and insult black people or use and abuse them. And the black must not hold power again, because we had enough of disaster. Burnham should be given an award. Get rid of the train station, get rid of the bauxite company. 90% of the country ruled by African descendants went in disaster. Economical breakthrough is finished. Indian, well, you all thief everything. And I'm sorry, I'll be honest with you. I call upon you all to unite. Let's form a national front government with the Amerindian as the head, followed by the mixed race, followed by the Portuguese and Chinese, then the blacks and the Indian. So nobody can blame nobody, and the Amerindian must get 45% of the wealth of the country. If you believe in Allah, Bhagwan and God, then let's give Muhammad what belonged to him, Jesus what belonged to him, and Krishna what belonged to him. Let us not deny them their rights, because Allah chose them. He didn't choose you, Ali. He didn't choose Bharat, Barnum, Hyde, Norton, and he didn't choose Ramjatan and Nagamutu. Okay? So I'm telling you here today, before the course of darkness take Guyana, that everything that looked like gold could crumble tomorrow. I beg of you, in the name of Allah, Bhagwan and God, unite and put Guyana forward. You're doing a good job, but you got more to do. And before I go, a man sent me a picture that you're in Times Square. He said you pay 100,000 US to put you there. I don't care whether it was in Piccadilly or Paris. That's your wishes. You enjoy it. Good luck to you. And I am your host, George Correa. Please subscribe. Good night, and God bless all of you. Thank you.